Um, so there are multiple timelines. Like there's multiple timelines coexisting, and you can
Yes. Got
timeline
it.
jump within your own life. So
Yes.
you can be operating in a lower timeline in your life, or you can jump to a higher timeline. And so what is being called of us from us is for us all to jump up into our highest timeline where we save the world.
Gotcha.
Lowest
Okay.
timeline is the world's destroyed by nuclear weapons or whatever
Gotcha.
the fuck. I don't know fucking what. But so there's different timelines and they're all divine. All the
Yeah.
timelines are divine. It's just it's all God experiencing God. So there's no right or wrong, there's no good or bad or evil. It's all divine.
Yep.
And this is the game we're playing. We're playing like a cosmic like war love game, like I don't know, The Sims. Where is that where you build your own cities and shit?
Yes. Yeah.
You're
Yes.
playing you're playing a Sims game with
Yep.
your life and your energy, and you either get to like choose to go into like the hellscape game where it's like
Yep.
a war and there's like explosions and you're killing people. Like that's a game. Some boys like to play that game and they love it.
Yep.
And or you can go into like a Sims game or maybe some other game I don't even know about, Zelda, I don't know, where you're like a magical elf witch and you have magical powers and you cast spells and you free people from their dragons.
Yeah.
So all the choices are divine.
Yes.
So we're just being called, do you want to, and it's very uncomfortable to become your highest self because you got to break open. You got to break open.
Well,
You got to
I
go
mean,
through.
in your metaphor, you're leaving a different timeline, a different world. So you're leaving that. So
Yeah,
you're used to
you
it.
have to die. You have to
Yeah.
die to that timeline to yeah, come into the other timeline, which sounds crazy, but it's like a dream. So it's like when you're asleep, you're dreaming.
Yeah.
And that's like a death. They say like when you go to sleep, it looks like you're dead. You're laying there, you're breathing, but you look like you're dead. You've
Yeah.
died from this reality that we live in, the waking life,
Yep.
and you
The
go into
conscious.
the
Yeah.
dream. So you die to that one, you go into the dream. And then when you wake up from the dream, you die. Sometimes you die in the dream and then you wake up
Yeah.
and you're not dead, you're alive, but you're on the other side.
Yeah.
So it's like that.
Yes. So yes, I would love to live my highest timeline. Of
Right.
course.
So all you need to do is ask for help. Like universe, whoever you want,
Yep.
angels, your ancestors, your spirit guides, you can ask, you can ask Jesus, you can ask Buddha, you can ask anybody you want to ask. It doesn't matter who you ask. Just ask universe, help me
Yes.
live as my highest self
Yep.
and help me live my highest timeline. And you don't have to know anything else. You don't have to know how, you don't have to know what, who, when,
Yeah.
where, why. It's just if that's what you want to live as your highest self, you just ask for help.
Love it. I just put it out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, there. And you don't even need to know what to ask for. You just
Now,
said,
yeah, you don't need to know what to ask for, but what does help, I don't know if you actually have to ask every day, but it does help to pray every day. And
mm,
like
mhm,
every day, because every night when we go to sleep, we die and then we wake up and it's a new day. And
mhm,
so it helps to ask every day, like, okay, help me, universe, help me be a good mom. Help me to like work through my fears of expressing. Help me
mhm,
to have the courage to have that conversation with the boss that I don't want to have. So just
mhm.
keep asking for help every day. And that helps you to move through those things that you don't want to do, like the scary
Yes.
shit. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Because you are, as opposed to avoiding it, by asking for help, you are confronting it. Essentially, that's what it is. You're saying it's there, and I want to be able to figure out how to deal with that instead of like, I'm just ignore it, not have that conversation, or not move through the scary thing.
Mhm. And those, your fears, like your greatest fears. What's your greatest fear?
Mm. I don't.
And it can be anything. It can be singing in front of people. It can be spiders. It can be the ocean.
It's
It can
funny you
be,
say that. So this is why, because I there's no easy answer with me. I would say snakes. I have this
okay.
thing of snakes. But I'm reading Jay Shetty's book, Think Like a Monk. Have you read that one?
No, but
Okay.
I love him. Yeah.
Okay. I hadn't, it's been out. Anyway, so I'm halfway through it, but he has a whole chapter on fear. And fear is not what you think it is. You've got to get down. You have all these branches, but what are you really scared of? And that has been like my last 2 weeks. I'm like, what am I, is it failure? Like I'm trying to get, like, there's something under there that subconsciously is stopping you. And I know, but I'm like, what is it? So anyways, the deeper answer is I'm still trying to figure it out. I think it's something around failure or people thinking that I'm like, not good enough. There's something there that I haven't figured out yet.
Are you afraid of being Eve in the garden and, listening to the snake and causing the
That's
fall?
probably all.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly. And
exactly.
then being the one that the whole world now has to be punished for. Exactly. It's like the two. It's like I'm the whole world. I'm Eve. I'm scared of being Eve. And
Oh, you
all
want to be Eve. You don't want to listen to the snake and make the wrong choice. Okay. So
more than you asked for. There you go.
no, it's perfect. So, and like also like explore the snake. Like, what does a snake mean to you? Like, why are you afraid of snakes?
Mhm. That is also a good question because my cousins had snakes growing up
Mhm.
and in their house, whatever. But I think there's something about, because spiders, no. I mean, I don't like, but like, I don't, mice, whatever. I think there's something. Oh, it gives me shiver just even thinking about it. I can't even. They are like quiet, slithery. And like when I was in college, one of my neighbors, one of the guys that I lived next to, we'd always go hang out at their house. And he had this big snake that was like his pet, and I wouldn't even know. And I'd sit down next to him and I wouldn't realize he'd have it like in his hand, like it'd just be this like, and I'd be like, oh my God, it was like right. And every time it was just like, they just sneak up. Like, I think that's it. The quiet, even though mice are like, there's something about it. I don't know. And this, the tongue. I don't know. But I'm like, mice don't do it. They're quiet. I'm not scared of little bunnies.
Owls
Like,
are silent. Owls are silent. Like they make
owls
the
are
deer go.
silent.
Yeah.
Deer are always in
You're
my
very quiet.
backyard. I'm not
They're
scared of them.
creeping.
Why is it about snakes? I don't know. They don't have feathers. I don't like that's the thing. I'm like, but why are you really like? And then I talk to my daughter and I try and tell her, and I'm like, frogs are venomous. Like it's not that snakes like there's so many things that I'm not scared of. Like, anyways, there you go.
Snakes,
I don't know.
snakes are the most deadly animal, one of them, other than mosquitoes.
Really?
But
Well, that's why I was like, honey, there's mosquitoes we're allergic to, and we get bit all the time in my yard. But like, I don't run around scared to I'm like, oh, it's so weird, right?
yeah,
Anyways, but maybe they're the most deadly.
they're the most.
I'm
They're
not
the
afraid of dying. I'm afraid of them slithering on me.
uh
Wow. If
Okay.
I had to be put in a box with snakes, even if they were garden snakes, I think I would die of like what, like my heartbeat would just explode.
Okay, what if it felt good? What if it was
Yeah.
like a massage?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. You're gonna make me go there. Am I getting a session right
I don't know. I'm just
now?
following the energy.
Okay. What if it felt good? Oh, I can't even see. This is going to the depths of my soul because yeah, like if ugh,
Are you afraid that it would actually feel good and you would like it?
no, I don't know. This is when it's the conscious and subconscious. Like, yeah, like what if it was actually just like similar to like those like a massage, they have like stone roll, like, yeah,
Yeah.
that are like
Yeah.
smooth and they're like rolled over you and they're cool. Like,
Mhm.
what if that was actually, it was just like giving you like that nice,
And like snakes kind of when you're holding a snake, they contract, like they squeeze you. It's kind of like a massage.
I don't, control. That's what it is, Maya. They're going to slither on me. I
Huh?
can't control them. It's there. We've just unlocked the bigger thing there.
Okay.
They're just going to slip in like just like into my face or something. I'm like, oh, where are you? Where? I think that's
You want to
it.
have control over.
And that's the bigger fear. Probably we're getting to the trunk right now.
Yeah.
It's control over what the other thing is gonna do, and then how I'll react. Oh, like it's literally a visceral reaction to me. You see me, I'm like, oh.
But that's your same reaction when you don't want to talk to your boss or when you don't want to ask
I
money. It's that like
know.
protective.
Wow. Yeah, yeah. Maya, you're a good coach. It's
Thank
just
you.
reflecting back.
Well, my intuition is telling me to shut the fuck up because there's things that I want to say,
Like what?
but it's saying nope, like just ask this question and then wait. And then ask this question. Because I can tell you, but it's not gonna land. Like if somebody tells you
Yeah.
something, if you're not ready to hear it or to become it, it
Yeah.
does, you're just like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, okay, well, maybe, but I don't know. It can't land. And this is what I'm figuring out right now of like, okay, like now that I can see everything, I could tell everybody, which I was kind of starting to do, but that doesn't work because most people think you're fucking insane. So I have to learn to lead people and not even lead. I'm not trying to get them to where I am, but just give them the opening, like make a little covered leafy pathway. And like this is an option. And like you could come this way if you want to. You don't have to. It's all your choice. It's all choices are divine.
Yeah.
So that's my process right now of like, okay, like how do I
I guess this is what, I don't know which energy type, but what I'm hearing from you is you are
yeah,
the, huh?
projectors are the guides and we're meant to ask people questions.
Yeah,
It's
you
weird.
see what's possible. Not, maybe not that you see all the possibilities for people, like you said, the different timelines, which I hadn't you heard the word timeline, but I get exactly what you're saying. You see that. And so you are just meant to ask the questions and you
Mhm.
know there's a higher timeline for everyone. And but you're like, maybe they're not ready to jump,
Yeah.
but I want them to see and make the choices and realize.
Yeah, because you can't shove people off the cliff. They have to jump and then realize that they can fly and that they got wings. They're like, oh my God, I have wings. And I'm like, yeah, I could see your fucking wings. You just didn't know they were there.
You're like a bird that's been in a cage your whole life.
Yeah.
You don't realize until
No.
you do it.
And
Yes.
if you like push the bird off the ledge, it's gonna think you're trying to kill it.
Or it'll have the heart attack, like if
Or
you
it'll have a
threw
heart
a
attack.
bottle of snakes. Like exactly. It would just like, oh my God, you don't realize what you can. But that's like you're doing like you broke wide open. We talked about like you can't break too quick and too big because you can't handle it. You gotta
Yeah, yeah.
like allow or have same with people like into it's too much too their nervous system. It's like even if it's in a better world, it's like I
Yes.
can't.
And I've wanted to break my entire life. Like
Your greatest dream.
it's my biggest
Break me
dream
open.
was to like get the fuck out of here. Like get the fuck out of this stupid reality that's obviously like blah, like blah. So much ugliness, so much brutality, so much ugliness and control and pain and suffering. And I was like, this isn't
But
right.
there's so much goodness too.
So
Look
much
where
goodness.
you're living.
There's so much
Yeah.
goodness. Yes. And we don't even we can't even fully open and we can't even fully receive the goodness until we realize it's all good.
Yeah.
So even though yes, it's all good, we can't
Mm.
even receive that until
Mm.
we have like transmuted our darkness and realize like, oh, the darkness is light too. The darkness is love too.
It's like different colored glasses. Like if you just
Yeah.
have those I know it's rose colored, it's seeing everything good, but like, you know, you can only, it's filtering out certain things.
Yeah.
You're like, I need to see it all because then amongst the negative is the good, all of it too. It's like,
Because you still have that internal battle, so you're still gonna fight and be like, oh well, that's bad. And it's actually not. It's beautiful. It's all beautiful. But until you can hold the beauty of it all, you can't even see it. And so I'll just say like the ways to expand your capacity to hold
mhm.
all the things we know we should be doing and we don't. Eating clean, exercising, breath work, meditation, singing, being in nature, doing any kind of somatic thing that like helps your body like transmute energy, like all the things that we know are good for us and don't do consistently and daily. Praying, visualizing, setting your intentions, working towards your goals, doing the stuff that you're afraid to do.
I love that. I have to tell you, I was trying to get back into my morning meditation to set myself.
Mhm.
And I came across, well, I can't, yours are live on Insight. They're live. So they're not recorded. Can I?
Recording. I have two recordings. There's
Oh,
one called Be
okay.
a Tree, and then there's
Mhm.
one called like highest self or dream life or something visioning. So
I will
yeah.
look for that. Cause when I went on, it was like, join me, like it was past, but as I was doing that, I was like, okay, I need a morning one. Came across this 20-minute one. She followed, I guess she said Tony Robbins. I don't know. He has this morning, but the point being, it started out with like 10 minutes of like guided meditation of just, you know, centering breath work or whatever, but then 5 minutes of affirmations. And she was like, okay, I want you to get up now and move your body as these affirmations feel. And all I kept thinking about was kindred. And it was like, she'd say these things. She's like, say them out loud or just repeat them to you, but just move as like your body just wants to move as it's saying these like affirmations. I'm like, oh my God, this is bias stuff.
So I'm gonna tell you, you did
Mhm.
not find that meditation by accident.
Came to me.
You were seeking it, and I hadn't provided it, and so it came to you. And this is how the universe works. This universe is interactive. It's
There you go.
actually listening, responding, and most of us, again, like we can't even like hold all of the beauty, and so it just sends us like a synchronicity. Oh, this song. Oh, that's weird. Like that's just what I was thinking about, or I was trying to figure this out, and this song just gave me the answer in lyrics. Or like, God, I really need to like do this, and then this meditation pops up. Or like your phone does something fucking weird, and all of a sudden it's like dialing your friend in Kansas or Missouri that you haven't talked to in 10 years. And you're like, why is my phone calling this person? But just answer it. Just
Where
answer
is
it.
it? What was it? I was reading something. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But it
Yeah.
was
Oh yeah, books.
some,
People giving you a book saying, "Here, you should read this." I had that happen to me in 2006, where two people in 1 week handed me the book Autobiography of a Yogi, and I
hmm,
never read it. I'd never heard of Paramahansa. I hadn't even started meditating, or maybe just barely. I'd been doing it
mm-hmm,
for years,
listening. Yeah.
and two people in 1 week handed me this book out of fucking nowhere, and I was like, I guess I should read this book, and it changed my life.
It was the book, the book that I'm thinking of, along of exactly what you're saying, though, is doesn't matter what the book is.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Keep looking. I'm like, what? But it was about ideas and how they come
Hmm. Hmm.
and how the universe has like, if you don't grab, I know we've talked about it, but this woman was talking about she had an idea for a book, like a very detailed book.
Hmm.
And she was like, it's not the time or whatever. She met someone.
Silbert, Big Magic.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, big magic. Yes, that one. And she was like, and it was all about like the ideas. So it's like the universe is like, somebody's going to grasp this. If it's not you, it's going to move on to the next person. And it's like, not like copying your idea. It's like
Mhm.
landing somewhere. This idea needs to be born into the earth. So similar, like you're saying, it's like it's interactive. They're trying to find, like the universe is like,
Yes,
yeah,
and I would say that she's off slightly, that it's not scarcity like that. It's not like, oh, if I don't grab these ideas, they're gonna go to somebody else and then
no.
I lose out on writing this book. It's more of like you can be a transmitter. Like maybe she received the idea and she kissed that woman on the cheek, who was Anne
Mhm.
Lamott, I think. And maybe the idea transmitted to Anne, and,
Mhm.
and Liz wasn't meant to write the book. She
No,
was meant
that,
to
yeah,
transmit. Yeah.
I agree. And I don't remember it. Maybe, I don't know, remember she wrote it from that, but my take is exactly that, is
Yeah.
like what you're saying. It's
And
like,
things move
it
through.
wasn't meant for you, but that idea will not die with you. It will, yeah. Yeah.
Yes. And okay, here's another big thing that I've just discovered this last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. Um, Everything you've ever wanted is actually your destiny. So
Mm,
like I've wanted weird
yeah.
shit. I wanted when I was 17, I had a vision of like living on land with my friends and goats. This was in the 1990s. Like
Mm-hmm.
nobody was talking about, and I didn't know about communes. I heard like there was like cults and hippie shit, but like I didn't know about anything. But I had this
Yeah.
vision of like, I just want to live on some land with like all my friends and goats. And like it's just fucking random. It just dropped in. And I was like, and I've carried that for the last 20 something years. And
Yeah.
now I live on land with some friends, not exactly like where I'm going. We don't have any goats, but we have a lot of cats and dogs. But another one, I have always wanted to live on a sailboat. Like I've been obsessed with sailing since my late teens, early 20s. No discernible reason. No did my family sails. I'd never been on a sailboat. I just became obsessed with sailing. And so when I lived in LA, I met a guy who lived on his sailboat. And so I was like, we're gonna be friends. You're gonna teach me how to sail. And then I learned how to sail and I started racing sailboats. But I've always wanted to live on. Do you want to live on a sailboat?
No.
No.
I mean,
See, like
yeah. No, but what you're
everybody has.
saying, totally, yeah.
Yeah.
That is your destiny, because it's not like everyone's just like, oh, I want to be rich and fame. I don't want to be rich. Like it's not like a singular vision that everyone wants and to have lots of money. It's like some people are like, this is what I really want. I'm like, really? I talked to this other woman who really, yeah, she wants to live on big property out where no one is. And I'm like, I like being able to walk everywhere. Like it's just very, yeah, like,
Yeah.
and anyways, but so I do like being right next to water, and I like going out on water. Don't want to live on the sailboat, but I need to be near water. I have
I
to
do
be near
too.
like hear the waves and just like be able to walk along. Yeah, I need it near me.
Do you live near water right now?
No, I mean, no, I mean, we're on the coast. It's 2 hours from the beach, and
That's
Annapolis with
so
the,
I'm just
yeah,
going to tell you right now,
yeah,
pay attention to that. I mean, if you feel better near water and you feel like you should be living near water, then make the life choices to get into alignment with that, because that is your highest timeline. Okay. And
Yes.
there's reasons, and I'm not going to say them because I'm going to sound fucking insane and people will be like, okay, she's off her rocker. But all of us need, and I'm going to take this recording and post it on YouTube probably or something, if that's okay with you. But like all of us need to lean into what we've always wanted and make the scary choices to burn bridges, to say no, to stand up and walk the fuck out of your job, walk the fuck out of your house, walk the fuck out of your relationship. Like it's go time. It's go time. I know it's terrifying. And I know it's like, what the fuck is this crazy lady saying? But you will be, if you're on that track that you can feel is true for you, you'll be supported and it's going to work out. You just keep asking for help.
Just know that you're, yes, I love it. I
And
love it.
here's another thing.
Yeah.
This is a fun exercise. Write down like what movies were you obsessed with as a kid? Like are there any movies you watched over and over that you really loved and resonated?
Grease.
What? What is it?
Grease. Do you remember
Grease.
that movie?
I fucking hate that movie. I hate it. I hate that movie. It's always it makes me want to vomit, which is interesting. What do you love about it?
I don't, I like music. I like movies that have singing. So I also liked Footloose. I liked, I don't know, like all like, and that was, I don't know if it was around the 80s when I was a kid. So, and my dad was like, oh, we should watch it. We watched it as a family. And my mom was like, is this okay for kids to watch? I was like, 4, whatever.
Yeah.
And then we ended up, I don't know, I watched it 1,000 times as a kid. So anyway, I think it was the music because I was a kid, too young to know like the broader context of what they're talking
And
about.
like, and I honestly like I've never fully watched it because I can't stand it. What are the themes? Like, what is the storyline? Like, what's the message of the movie?
It's like it's somebody meeting, a couple meeting over the summer,
Hmm.
and they had a great summer romance, which I love romantic comedies and stuff too. I'm just a sucker for that. And then they end up being at the same school, and he's like this cool guy, so he can't admit that and she had just moved to the school, like, and so then it's this whole path of him trying to be too cool, and she's like, "What's going on with you? You're not the guy you were this summer." And then at the end, they get together. So it's like they're a set in the 50s and all that type of stuff.
So what I hear is they came together, they knew they loved each other, and then
Yeah.
he was not being his highest self. He
Yeah.
was trying to be something else, something
Yeah.
cool or inauthentic.
Yeah.
And then they got together at the end. Did he wake up? He woke up and said, "Oh, like I need to be me."
Yeah, because she was like, yeah.
What?
The last scene is where she like, I don't know. She dresses up. It's gonna sound bad because she dresses up like him, but she's like, fuck you, look at me in this like hot ass outfit, and I can be just like the woman you think you want. And he's like, what? And he like wakes up and is like, you're actually everything I want. Like, what? Yeah.
So I'm gonna throw up. So this is part of like this awakening, this revolution, this consciousness thing is all about is all about it's all about coming into divine union within ourselves. So like stepping into your queenship and stepping into your inner king, like within your body, which means saying no, like saying no to the things that are not your authentic self, even if you think you need to have that job to survive. If it's
Yeah.
not true for your highest timeline, you got to fucking cut it out and cut it off and burn the bridge. So as we step into our highest king queen selves,
Yeah.
then our divine unions will either show up or they will transform. So like if you're already, maybe your husband is your divine counterpart. Like, do you feel like he's your divine counterpart?
I do. I think I tried to push it off for way too long, and the universe was like, if you're not going to see that, I'm going to keep, there's so many things. Yeah. Like so
Yeah.
many stories of that. Yeah.
So either you come online with your divine partnership or it comes to you, but it's all about choice and consent and each person wanting to show up as their higher self. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're married and you love your husband, you have kids, you have a home, you have a good life.
Yes.
If you step fully into your king queen
Yeah.
and he does not want to step fully into his king queen and meet you, off with the heads.
Yep.
And
I
that's what's
totally.
coming up now for people, like, you know, relationships, jobs, living situations. Like people in my life are breaking bones, breaking cars, like shit. If you're not stepping up and being authentic and your highest self and doing the scary shit that you know you need to do, then the universe is gonna.
I agree. And I think from a couple, if you truly are with the person that the universe is the right person, you continually evolve. And I've always said about like we offset each other in really good ways, but from a inner, like constantly striving to know more and understand more, and like I'm the leader in that side. He is certainly the leader in other areas of our life, but like I go first and he follows. And I think there's a lot of relationships where yes, the person's like, I'm not moving, but sometimes I'm like, either they weren't divinely like that wasn't met, because like, and you can take away the universe, the meaning, and that you guys are meant for each other, but like you gotta allow someone to change as you change, and then it's like a new relationship, and then you refigure it out, and then you refigure it out. And so if both are willing to be like, we're gonna do the work and figure it out as you continue to try and better yourself, and I want to better our relationship, that's a value of me, then you continue to do that, like you meet the other person where they are then the new person, because
Yeah.
they're still better for you than anyone else, like because they're there anyways.
Mhm.
We could go
Yeah.
down
And you're
that
mirrors.
hole.
You're
Yes,
reflecting each other in order to keep expanding and growing and stepping into those higher and higher timelines.
100%.
Yeah.
Because there's like, as you know too, like raising kids and sick parent, like all the things that push you in a new way. Like I don't know what role I hold and I would hold a different role if it was just me, but with both of us, like you figure what's our roles, and it's different with each of our children even, like every child is unique. So like what's the role he holds versus I, and like you kind of, it's like a new group forming every single, it's like that norming, storming, like, what is the role I'm going to hold? What is the role you're going to hold with this child? And then like, as they get into middle school, like, it's like constantly it's this dance you do. They're like, what is the situation we are, but we're going to dance together and figure it out, versus like, oh, I'm going to go over here and leave, because you're still stronger together. If that makes sense. That's
It does make
my
sense.
view now anyways, 15 years into this.
No, it makes sense. It's all perfect. And yeah, where I'm coming from, like I'm deeply, deeply wounded when it comes to divine union and partnership, because my earliest memory is my father trying to choke my mother and kill her. And so like that's like witch wound reflection too in past lives. And and my karmic relationship, my daughter's father, we've killed each other in past lives. We didn't kill each other so far in this life, which is like progress. And like we held it together for them. Like they were not exposed to the levels of trauma that like I was exposed to, and I'm sure that he was exposed to.
Uh-huh.
Um, so yay for that.
Good,
Even
good.
though
That's
we
progress,
still had
evolution, and all the things.
evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still a lot of shit that went
You've
down.
chosen a higher timeline in this lifetime than previously.
Yeah. Ugh, this makes you want to throw up again. Yes.
Is the throw up, what is that? Is it bringing up like what's
It's an
what is
energetic thing. It's like something with the energies, and I think it's like that, like, like I don't know what it is exactly, but it's like a shaman, like when you do ayahuasca, you like purge, and I think it's just like getting out any like darkness or density. I feel like that's what it is. It's like a birthing, because
so
I've
as we
done this.
talk about this, that feeling, it's because you're dropping into that place, do you think, of like where it was, and you like get
No,
that feeling?
no, it's a releasing. It's like it's part of my birthing process of like it's like a shedding of a skin. And I used to say this, like giving birth is kind of like vomiting. Like you don't, when you vomit, you don't have to like, you don't have to push or like do anything. Your body just does it by itself.
Yeah.
And when we're giving birth, if we let it go enough, the body just does that by itself. Like you don't
Yeah.
need to push. If you don't push
Yeah.
when you're vomiting, you don't need to push when you're giving birth. And
Yeah.
again, in all this, like we don't need to push. It'll
Yeah.
happen spontaneously. And like your body knows exactly what to do if we just let the body do what it wants to do.
Wants to do.
Like is weird. Sometimes it's weird shit and people don't want to be weird because they're like, stay still and don't be weird. And that's part of the trauma is like us not moving our emotions. We just have been conditioned
Yeah.
to sit still and hold all the feelings inside and don't express them and don't feel them and don't move them. No wonder we're so fucked up.
Let it out. Let it
But
out.
yeah, let it out, whatever it is. And even if you think it's ugly and you don't want it out, like vomit, like you just got to let it out. And that releasing is part of what changes the timelines and changes your body and changes, it makes space for your higher self to drop into your body.
So your highest self,
Yeah.
you have not great experiences for with relationships.
Yes.
What is your highest self's relationship? Is it possible? Are you evolving together? Do you meet each other at your highest place, both
Yeah.
of you?
Yes. Yeah. We both are functioning at our highest level as like full king queens inside of ourselves. which
Mhm.
means full access to our emotions, full honesty, full connection to our bodies, no no ability to like lie or deceive or manipulate, and
Do
no,
you help each other get there, or you don't meet and become a union until you are your highest self and he is his highest self?
you're already, you come in a union and you help each other get there by mirroring. But again, at any time, you either of you can decide, I don't want to do this game. I don't want
Yeah.
to play, and they can step
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
which that's what terrifies me the most. Like that makes me again like want to vomit or like cry.
Yeah.
Because I see and I feel and I know like the potential for my highest
Mm-hmm.
relationship, and like a
Mm-hmm.
fucking, you know, you see those couples that are like fucking amazing, like that's what I could reach because I've been at the darkest low of a couple that hated each other with every cell of their being, which is all one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my biggest terror, is like wanting that and seeing it but then not getting it, or
So
or yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna not follow my intuition and just talk when
Okay.
maybe you
That
need
might
to
be your
get
intuition though. That might be your intuition.
where you need to get there on your own. But I'm gonna say I feel like there's two perspectives, right? One is that you
Oh, wait.
mirror. Oh yeah.
And I'll just say this is the difference between you and me. You trust your husband. You trust the masculine. I don't trust. And that's what I'm
Yeah.
working with right now. I'm battling with that part of me that does not trust. He's already made the choice. And like now I realized that like before we got on this call, I was like, oh, he already made the choice. So like I don't have to worry about it, but I'm still terrified that he's not going to show up
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you've been burned before, absolutely,
as a
in
witch. And
others' relationships that you've seen and in your own.
yes,
Now you've talked about mirroring.
yes,
I think it goes back to what you really believe. If it's the right person, let's plug this in, and you're mirroring yourselves on the way up,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah,
you're mirroring yourselves on the way up to the point that you're like, oh, that you were meant to bring me to this point, but now somebody else is going to bring me higher because this, you were at your highest self, but I have more to go, whatever it may be.
okay,
You
yeah,
have been in unions where you're mirroring yourself on the way down. They're
yeah,
bringing yourself down, right? And so the trust and the belief is that either you will know that difference, and the universe is like, you've learned that lesson, you've been down that path, you're going to realize that this is not the right person for you.
yeah,
Or the universe is like, listen, there's a right, I know that there's this person out there that is going to be the perfect mirror for me. So it's like, it feels like what I hear is like, I'm going to, which is all the trust stuff. Yeah. Like somebody is going to break your heart and bring you down. And you're going to be like, but I want to be in this relationship and I'm going to drown in it because they're going to bring me down. But what if they're the perfect mirror that brings you up? And that's what I say about like, I was the biggest untrusting person either. It took us forever to get together. Like, because I was like, I'm not putting myself out there and like in any way. I fought it for a couple of years, but like there gets a point where it's like, okay, I get it. You know, like there were so many, we have the same birthday. Our mom's names are the same. Every time I wanted to like date someone else, like he'd randomly call me from like, he was in China and like, it was just, the universe was like, you think, I'm not letting it happen. And all of the things is like, as I want to change or I try and drop into my place of like darkness or like anger, and I did that the other day because I was like, what am I doing in this entrepreneur? Like, I'm not making any progress. And I was in my like I left my job. He left me this voicemail, was like, you realize then that it's good. I want to go into the negative place. So anyways, that person is there for you. That's going to bring you up and up. I know it, right? It's just,
yeah. Well, I know it. I already fucking know it, but he doesn't, and that's what kills me. Is I don't. He doesn't know. He doesn't see it, and so then it's like, then part of me is like, well, how do I make him see it? How to make him? How to wake him up? How to make him know? And that's the fire hose that just fucking terrifies the person. It makes them run away. So then I'm like, okay, okay, and like what I've come to this morning, like 30 minutes ago, is just ask questions. Like
yeah.
start asking him some questions and see if he'll. I don't even know. He may have already cut me off, but you know. Because it's fucking intense, and I know he is terrified, like I'm terrified. Like I already know that.
Yeah.
He's just went through like his like darkness. I think his darkness came later in his life than mine did. But yeah. And so yeah, like I said, I'm just right now, I'm a fresh little baby chick trying to figure out how the fuck to walk, let alone
Yeah.
fly.
The
So
universe. Okay. We're going to keep using this universe metaphor.
yeah.
knows you're not ready yet. As much
Yes,
as you know
that's true.
it's him,
That's
you are
true.
not ready for enough. You are still a chick in your own self identity, right? In your
Yes.
new you.
Yeah.
You need to be, who is my new me, separate and on my own with my two little girls, right? Who am I before I bring someone that I know is my perfect match? But you need to get stronger. That shell that you broke open, your skin needs to get stronger
I
still.
need to
So
make
your
money.
universe is like,
I need
no,
to.
no, stop pushing it. We will do this in 6 months or a year, whenever it is.
I'm impatient. I want it now. But no,
Yep.
that's I need to stabilize on my own 2 feet
Yes.
financially. And that's what you're helping me do. But I that's something I've never claimed. I've never come into my power as my inner king of like, this is my kingdom, this is my offering. You will fucking pay me thousands of dollars for it because it's worth it. Like
Yes.
I've never claimed, I've always depended on
Yeah.
other people.
No, and
And
then you're gonna go on his boat because he has a boat that's
I'll
amazing,
buy
and you're
my
gonna
own
live
fucking boat.
yes, exactly. You're gonna live your highest self, but you're not gonna be because you can't. You're gonna be like, but I have my own boat right here that I'm gonna jump on when I need a week to myself. Because
And you
listen,
can
I can do
we
that.
can sail together.
Yes. And I'm gonna fly over here and run this human design retreat because I can do it in my business. And then I'm gonna come back to you and we're gonna have a wonderful like month off where we sail. But then I'm gonna go do my own thing. If you're too, you know this, right? If you're too
I
raw like, and
know
you
it.
go, you're gonna,
I
it
know,
wants
I
to
know.
blend in with the other skin, and you can't do that. Not now.
I know. Okay. Okay, thank you.
We're gonna
See,
take deep breaths.
you just channeled for me. You don't even know what you did. That's the thing is we're all walking around and we're all channels and we don't even fucking know it. And when you wake up, you realize like, oh, I'm a fucking channel, you're a fucking channel, we're all fucking channels. And then people are channeling at you and they don't even
This
fucking
is a totally selfish thing on my part because I know how many people need you to stand steadfast, and you have so many good skills and research, and you need to just channel those because not only by not charging and not putting it out there, clearly you're not going to be able to sustain it because you're going to have to go and get another job, but you're not going to deliver it
yeah.
to the masses that want to hear it. So
And I
your
can't
last
even
couple
get
posts you put on Instagram, it's like every day I want you to like human design and why is it needed? Like, that's awesome. Like, I love it. It's like
yeah.
that, like, oh my God, she's doing partner human design. Like, that's
I want to
amazing.
talk with, but okay, here's the thing. Here's the secret that I also just discovered this morning. We can't do it alone. Most of us. There are people. Are you single definition in human design?
I don't know. What is that? Where do I find that?
Let me look it up. Hold on. Okay. If you are, and I will just state this as the authority I am, if you are single definition in human design, you can do it by yourself. You can go start your business, you can be successful, you can do it all by yourself. You don't need anybody. If you are not a single definition, which let me look at you, Brooke. Hold on.
What is, oh, I'm a split definition.
Yeah, okay, good. I knew that. I am too. So,
What is my husband? I have his here. Let me see what he is.
okay, listen to me, Brooke.
Yes.
This is actually
What about if
important.
you're a triple split
You
definition?
need more people. You need a community. If you're
That's my
quadruple
husband.
split, you need to be polyamorous. I'm
Okay,
not.
good. He's not that.
Okay.
He's not that.
And a lot of people who are quadruple split do not want to be polyamorous, but that's what they need to do to move into their highest selves. And I need to tell some people that. Well, do I?
Wait.
Hold on.
Oh, wait. My son
Fine.
is split definition. My daughter. Oh, my oldest is single definition.
Okay.
I am split definition.
What's your husband? Split definition?
He is split the other. What's the three? Split
Split?
multiple. What is it called? Triple split.
Okay.
Don't tell me he needs to be polyamorous.
No, he
I'm not.
doesn't. He doesn't
Okay,
need to
good.
be polyamorous. And polyamory doesn't necessarily mean like penetration intercourse. It can also mean like having people in your community that do body work on you or just like snuggling with you. It doesn't have to be sex. It doesn't have to be creating children together. So that's something else that,
Okay.
anyways,
For anybody out there.
anybody listening to this, this transmission, my transmission of my car dumped. I've been having problems with my transmission for a couple months now, and it dumped all of
Good,
its.
because you know why? You
Yeah.
had a ton of expenses in gas. Now you can get rid of those. Don't
Also,
drive your.
yes, and yeah, there's other things, but yes, also, but also literally. So I mentioned to a friend who lives in London who doesn't own a car. I don't think he hasn't ever owned a car. Um, it's a transgender person,
Yes.
a shaman. They're a shaman. Fuck it, they're not transgendered anymore. They're shamans. I'm just gonna call them shamans. This shaman,
Yeah.
I mentioned, oh yeah, my transition's out, and the shaman said, "What's a transmission?" They didn't know what a transmit. Maybe they knew. They're just asking me, whatever. And I was like, well, it's a transmission. It runs your car, but a transmission is also like an energetic frequency that you transmit to other people. And so it's like this like
And they
combination.
were like, oh, which one? Your energetic frequency is out of your car. Hi. Hi. Say hi to Maya.
Hi,
Say hi to Maya. Say hi. If you're going to come into the meetings, you have to talk. You say hi. Hi.
do you like your mala?
She's the one that made the mala. You know the necklace that you got for Christmas? Yes. Is
Do you
it so
like it?
pretty? You
Good.
say thank you. Say thank you. Thank you.
So
You can
here,
tell her favorite colors that you included in there.
good. Another thing,
Yes.
children are clearer channels than we are as adults.
So,
Children are already connected, and if
yeah.
we just listen to them, they will lead us.
To like what we want, or where will they lead us?
I don't know. They'll lead us to the highest timeline because they're a direct connection to the universe.
Well,
So
let me tell you who's the strongest communicator in our family.
who's that?
It's one of her older brothers.
Okay.
And he's
And
had
it
lots
doesn't,
of opinions.
I'm not even talking about the strength of the communication. I'm just saying, like, she might say, hey, my tummy's hurting. I don't want to go to school. And the
Mm.
ego comes on, is like, no, you need to go to school. I have stuff to do, blah, blah, blah. You're gonna, but if you just listen to her and say, okay, and see what happens.
What do you think about that? Should I listen to you more?
Yes.
Yes. Good news is we have no school tomorrow, so we're just gonna play all day, right? Right? Okay, let me
like,
talk about a little bit. Yeah. What?
what does she
What?
have to say? Wait, tell us something before you go. Tell us a secret.
Oh, my ass is listening too. What? Yes, sure. Go, okay, go. Come here. Come here. There you go.
I didn't,
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay,
I
goodbye.
didn't, I didn't hear the secret. What did she say?
She wants to play with their neighbors. That
Okay.
was the secret.
Well,
Right?
that sounds like a great idea.
We're gonna go outside and play when are they home? Yeah. No? Okay, when they get home. Okay. Do you have a secret you want to tell?
What?
Do you have any secrets you need to tell?
No.
No.
But what do we have to eat?
So much food. You can go check. I'm gonna talk to Miss Maya. Okay.
No.
Okay. Now, you want her to be shy because then they're gonna be so much talking.
No, listen, it's a balance. So you listen to them, but when you need your space, get really
That's
firm. And like, I'm sorry, I'm on this call right now. This is important to me and I need to go. I love you. And I've been doing both with my daughters. Like they're eating whatever they want and like brushing their teeth when they want, going to bed
yeah.
when they want. And when I'm in a channel situation where I'm in my work now of like all this shit, if they come to me and they need anything, I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't help you right now. You need to help yourself, or you need to go find another adult who can help you because like I have to do this. And
Yes, I
so
love
there's
that.
that balance of like it's almost like you're getting softer and stronger at the same time.
Well, you're helping develop their own intuition about what their own needs are and wants, which is good. But then you are also showing them the boundaries and you're prioritizing yourself when it's important. Like this is it, which I think a lot of moms don't do. And I really want to dig into boundaries and as a mom boundaries, like, because I feel like that's like hard and we do away with them when they're born
Yeah.
with our children.
My daughters are going through a transitional phase where like they don't like this new me. They don't like the new me that doesn't tell them what time to go to bed. And they don't like the new me that's like, be quiet right now. I'm doing something.
Yeah. They're like, wait. I was used to the reverse where you told me when to go to bed, but then I could interrupt you whenever I wanted. You're like, well, you're flipping it. You're like, these are the times that I'm going to tell you basically what you can't do. You can't, I'm not available.
Times,
Yeah. The other times you can choose.
your body. Yeah.
Your body, your choice.
Yes. Your body, your choice, your body, your
But
choice.
then I do feel like with kids, because they're still learning, we then need to help them through, like, because here's what we'll hear. I hear it from moms too, is like, well, then they'll stay up way too late, right? And then they're tired in the morning and then they're just cranky. So then we have to realize what we're allowing and then help them in the morning, be like, that's because you stayed up too late, when they have the certain mental capacity to handle those type of conversations, but like, it's because you stayed up too late. Do you want to feel this way? Like we kind of have to have the patience to help them through that because they haven't
Yes.
learned
We have
cause
to,
and effect of some of their decisions yet.
yeah. And we have to be able to hold like space for what they're
To be
going.
lost. Okay.
So that's another thing. Like they're
Yes.
having a lot of emotions because I'm different. I've changed. I'm my higher self now. I'm not old mom who had all her ego shit and was acting out of her conditioning and trauma from her past. And that's hard. Like, and I know Byron Katie. Do you know Byron Katie, the work?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The work. Yeah.
I always wanted to be Byron Katie. I want to be Eckhart Tolle. I wanted to be all these
Maybe
people.
that is, she woke up in a mental institution, right? And then flipped. And like, maybe this
It
is your
wasn't
awakening.
she
Or
had admitted herself into it was like a either alcohol. I think she had an eating.
yeah, it was alcohol, I think,
It
right?
was an alcohol. She wasn't even alcoholic, but she's admitted herself for I think an eating disorder. And yeah, she woke up and because a cockroach crawled over her foot and she was sleeping on the floor because she didn't feel good enough to sleep in a bed. Like that's how low she was, like literally low.
Yeah.
And a
Yeah.
cockroach crawled across her foot and woke her up and she just cracked. She cracked open and she's like, "Oh, I'm the universe." Okay. And then she went
So the 4
forward
steps, and yeah.
and but her kids, she says, my kids didn't like it because I was a completely different person. I was like, it wasn't the old me anymore. I was somebody else. And so then they had to relearn, like they
Yeah.
can't use their old, the games that we play, like the emotional manipulation of like you use your power as a parent to coerce them into
Yeah.
doing their homework, brushing their teeth, getting on the bus, because like you have to do this because I say so, or I'm going to punish you.
Yeah.
That is not the right way to use your energy.
I mean,
Or
that's how what we were talking about with couples too. I mean, so I've seen this a lot with couples when one retires or one, and then they're home, and like say you're a stay-at-home wife and your husband stays at home and now you're like, I'm moving, it's my turn now. Like that's any type of life, right? Like you are changing who you are as an identity and what you prioritize. You've supported someone else. You got to give them time to catch up. It doesn't mean they're like a complete asshole, but like you
yeah,
change your expectations,
yeah,
right?
yeah, totally.
And so it's like allowing them.
And again, going back to my situation,
Yeah.
yeah, we were in a space of not recognizing, seeing not truth. And then
Mm-hmm.
we met in person and I was like, oh fuck, like I can't not speak the truth. And so I spoke the truth and he was like, I don't get it. And then he's like, oh, okay, maybe I get it, maybe. And he kind of like got a little closer and like looked around. And then the universe fucking took him to a different continent. And then I realized, oh, and then I realized like it isn't just I have a crush on this person. It isn't even just that I'm in love with this person. This person is my divine counterpart. And I don't have all the answers, like soulmates, twin flames. Is there only one? Is there more than one? I don't fucking know. But all I know is right now, like he is my divine counterpart. And the next step of our evolution is that I need to say, I feel, believe, see, you are my divine counterpart. And that's all I need to do. And then it's up to him whether he raises or whether he's like, you're fucking insane. Like, who the fuck are you? Like, you're insane and you're scary and I'm running away from you. Like, it's like that choice. We all get the choice. Like, do we expand or do we contract? And
Yeah.
so my fear has been, oh my God, he's going to contract because, like, who wouldn't contract when some rando comes and says, you're my divine counterpart, you know?
Well, and I
That
think,
energy, with that energy of needing you to be the one. And so that's what I've been releasing. It's like, okay, I had to release that before I expressed to him even that I had a crush on him.
well, that's the thing, because you have to allow the person to catch up, right? But in that time, with you just sitting with it, a lot of times the ego comes up and is like, oh my God, the freak out. So
Yeah.
you have to be, which I am not that strong yet, like, but I can see it in other where it's like, okay, you got to allow them to catch up and do what they need to do to respond in their fullest, truest self. But like in that time, we work ourselves up and get anxious and ego and like all the things and like either attack more or retreat in anger, like all the stuff that comes up. So it's like,
Yeah.
that's going to be your challenge, right? Is like, then, okay,
So yeah,
I've
it's
done
like,
what the universe wants me to do, what my intuition says, and I have to then like, whatever comes up, I'm gonna have to journal and meditate and do all the things on my
well, what
own.
I have to do, I have to speak the truth, but I have to have transmuted my darkness. Otherwise, the energy of, even if it's the truth, if the energy isn't the truth behind it, it's got that dark energy. And then the person's going to feel that and they're going to be like, oh, and it doesn't work, even if it's the truth. So that's what I have to do. And I've been doing that. I've been fucking doing that with like, I did it with him already once. And then I went to this party. I've been telling the story on social media, but
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. The rape,
yeah, I prevented a rape from occurring. And the day before, 24 hours before, I unintentionally went into a healing session with a shaman, with a transgendered shaman, and I thought we were just going to be doing kindred for fun. But the shaman stepped up and was like, "Have you been sexually assaulted?" And I was like, "What? Not really, but kind of once this one time, but I don't really consider it sexual assault and I don't remember it, but I guess." And they were like, "Let's go into it." And I was like, "Okay, I'm game." And it occurred, the sexual assault occurred in 2007.
uh-huh.
And I was at it was my first night at this party called Hot, Hawt. There were these amazing big-hearted DJs and beautiful humans, but who were boys. So there were no men. All of us were severely traumatized and looking for healing. And a lot of us found healing through the party scene, through ecstasy and through opening our hearts and communicating things that we never communicated and transmuting, through dancing and like those tribal beats, through the frequencies, which low frequencies, you can look this up, it's scientific. Low frequency helps the body release trauma. So I was at this party. There was a guy there who was a victimizer, and I'm not a victim kind of person, but in this experience, I became a victim of his victimizer energy. And that's why I was like, I don't really ever consider that I was assaulted, because I've always felt in a way so in my power, but even too
Yeah.
much in my power, where I don't trust the masculine, where I was
Yeah.
like, I was very masculine. And this is all news to me. I'm just,
Yeah.
yeah. So he gave me a pill of ecstasy, which I'd done twice before in safe containers with friends, um, and had very, very opening experiences. But he gave me a pill of ecstasy, and he also gave me alcohol. And I've always been given, like, through most of my life, like I've been given drugs, or invited in to do drugs that were for my healing. So I think this experience was for me to alchemize so that I could do this, I could help heal this energy in other men. Um, so what happened? So yeah, so I was drinking and I was doing ecstasy, which I didn't know you're not supposed to mix the two. Like
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And so I blacked out. And the next morning, and I remember being, because I don't know if it was in his space, but he had a loft maybe or a warehouse. And so I remember like being kind of in his room. Maybe I woke up there. And then like when I left the party, but when I got home, my pants were on backwards and there was semen in my belly button. And I don't think he penetrated me, because I don't remember feeling like I'd
Yeah.
had sex. So he maybe I don't remember. I don't know what happened. So I confronted him on it. I think I called him and I was like, "Hey, like what happened? My pants were
Yeah.
backwards and I think there's semen in my belly button." And he's like, "Oh no, nothing happened, blah blah." But I found out later that he had victimized other women in that circle, but none of the men ever stood up to him. Like they knew stuff was going on, but none of them stood up to him. And so in my healing with the shaman, with the transgendered shaman who holds both the masculine and feminine,
Yeah.
I was like, I was just raging at the masculine of like, why didn't you fucking protect me? Why
Hmm.
didn't you protect me? And just that rage at like the whole world right now of the masculine not protecting the feminine. As like they've been abusing the feminine, the toxic masculine.
Yeah.
So I transmuted that all the night before. I went to a party, which was the same kind of thing. It was a house, there was house music, there was drugs and cocaine and alcohol and other like all kinds of other things, which none are okay. Alcohol, I'm gonna just say alcohol is bad because it lets like the word alcohol comes from al ghul, which is like
Mhm.
anti-spirit, but it's like a demon. It's basically when you drink alcohol, you are letting spirits, and that's why you black out. That's why you become like not like yourself. That's why you have bad judgment, because you're no longer functioning as even your ego self. It's
Yeah.
like forget the higher self, forget the ego self. You are now a demon.
Yeah.
And we know this. Like we
Yeah.
know this. And
Yeah.
this is all brand new for me because like I've struggled with alcoholism. And I feel like that was transmuted with mushrooms. Also, let me know if you ever need to go, because I know we're talking a lot.
No, keep
Okay.
keep going. Although, yeah, like 20 more minutes.
Okay. My intuition tells me when I have about 15, 20 minutes left with a person. So I'll just set a
No.
timer. It happened yesterday.
But I
So
want to talk about your website too, which we can do another time or
okay, we'll
whatever.
do it another time. This is more important right now.
That's okay.
So
I'm going to
so
meet you where you are today.
thank you. So what happened at this party was I felt like the demon of rape come into the building.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
felt that energy of rape,
yeah.
and I felt it. And so I was like, I looked around and I didn't see anything happening. And I went and checked the bedrooms of the house. I didn't go outside. I felt it was like in the house. And I checked the bedrooms to make sure no woman was getting raped actively. And like the bedrooms are empty. And so I went back to the dance floor and I'm just aware, like I'm just paying attention. And that's what fear is like. Fear is an indicator to pay attention,
Yeah.
not to like go into anxiety or disempowerment, but just pay the fuck attention if you're feeling fear. And fear is a doorway to your highest timeline. But so I'm paying attention and I see there's this beautiful woman at the party. And I actually have been admiring her all night because she had the
Yeah.
most beautiful figure that maybe I've ever seen in my life. Like
Yeah.
she was Latina and she was curvy and she's wearing this bodysuit, but it was like the epitome of like the feminine figure.
Yeah.
And just sweet, like sweet and nice. And so I saw her go into the bathroom, which was like down the hall from where we were dancing. And I saw two men following her to the bathroom to go inside and rape her. And I knew, like I just knew immediately. I was like, they're going in there to rape her. And so I just walked over there and I got between them and I went into the bathroom. I shut the door behind me and I said, "Are you okay? Like, are you just going to the bathroom?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, I just want to go to the bathroom. Those guys have been freaking me out all night." And so I stayed in there with her. I guarded the door while she went to the bathroom. And then I walked out, and the two boys, they're men, boys, they're probably in their like late 20s, early 30s, late
Mm.
20s, mid 20s, in the 20s. One of them was the biggest guy at the party. And he had this like rhinoceros energy and just like he immediately like when I came in like tried to get on me and he had a girlfriend and she got pissed and so like she wasn't mad at me and she was deeply traumatized and unconscious too. But it was a whole mess. And I was just repelled by him and his friends like the whole time because I was like,
Yeah.
"Ugh, it's just that energy of like that like
Yeah.
like that skeezy
Yeah.
guy." But he was the biggest guy at the party, which I noticed. I was like, fuck, like that's the biggest, like most powerful man here, unfortunately. And he is evil. He has some evil stuff, but he also had a big heart. I could also feel like at one point his heart opened during that night because I felt the rape energy. And then this couple started partner dancing and his heart opened and I saw his face light up and he was like a 4-year-old kid. He was so excited to see this couple, like they were like really good dancers. And you
Mm.
could see that that was what he wanted more than anything was
Yeah.
that divine union of moving together like that. And so I was like, wow, he got healed. But he shut down again. And then like the rape spirits came and like possessed him and his friend. And like this is all new for me. Like I've heard people talk about it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like I don't really believe in possession or spirits or demons and maybe I don't know. But I experienced it at the party. So I walk up to the boys. They're standing by the front door and I put my hands on their arms and I'm not angry at them. I'm just standing in truth and love and my clear seeing. And I said, we need to go outside and talk. And I wasn't afraid either, but I wasn't angry. And the rhinoceros guy, he was kind of like, oh, no, you don't need to talk to me. You need to talk to him. Like, I didn't do anything. And he starts like reacting. And I was like, no, I need to talk to both of you. Because it was the other guy that was more of the instigator of that. Maybe he was going to rape the girl and the other guy was going to stand there. I don't know. So we went outside and I just said to both of them, I was like, what was your intention going into that bathroom?
Yeah.
Something like that. Or what was your intention with that girl? And of course, at first they were both like, whoa, freaked out. And the rhinoceros guy actually physically threatened. He was like he was going to beat me.
Dan, yeah.
You can't accuse me of that. I didn't do anything wrong. That energy. The
Yeah.
other guy was just like, oh, like I didn't. We were gonna
Uh,
go do cocaine, and we thought his girlfriend was in there, and like spinning. And I just held my center, and I don't remember what I said, but basically, like, I know what you were intending, and that's not okay. That's not okay here. You cannot do that. Um, and they both eventually admitted. They both said like, yeah, we had bad intentions, and they started crying. And so I asked them if I could do a heart healing on them. And so, like, for both of them, I kind of do this thing. I don't know, I was compelled to do this thing where I had my hands on their front and back over their heart. And the one guy, the guy he was more like snake energy, he was just crying and he was talking about like his childhood and his mother and all of, all the
wow.
deep shit and crying. And then the rhinoceros guy, he also, I did a heart healing on him too. And he also opened up a little bit, but he was much of like a stronger shell. The other
Yeah.
guy was like a weaker shell. Um, and they both thanked me. They both said, thank you for calling us out. Thank you
Yeah.
for loving us. You feel like my mother. Like it
Oh.
was, and this is witnessed by other people. Like this isn't in, like, I didn't make this up. I'm not lying. Um, and so that ended. And over the course of the night, I did various other healings. Again, like I was just compelled to do stuff. I stayed up all night dancing also. I did a lot of fucking dancing because when you're doing that, when I'm doing the healing work, like some of them I could feel the pain and it's really fucking painful. Like there
Yeah.
was a guy who had lost half of his leg and he was 23 and
Ugh.
I could tell he was dark and I asked him, I was like, "Can I do a healing on you?" And he's like, "Yeah, whatever." And I did some healing and he started brightening up and I found out later he's struggling with a heroin addiction. It's like
Mm.
I didn't know that, but so my point is, if I hadn't have processed my own rape or whatever
Yeah.
that was, that oh yeah, the non-consensual interaction. It's not even, doesn't even have to be rape, just non-consensual exchange of energy. Since I processed that the day before, I was able to be a
Yeah.
clear channel for love and truth
Yep.
and hold that a mirror. I was a clear mirror. I cleared my mirror of my trauma, even though I barely registered it even as trauma. And then I
Yep.
was able to just hold that up to those men. And I said to them multiple times, I was like, "You're good men.
Yeah.
You can feel your good heart and you have a huge heart."
It's what we
And
said at the beginning when we were talking, it sounds like, is you and your projector energy are seeing what's possible for everyone in their in their
highest
most
self.
highest self.
Yes.
You are, and they can choose. You did what you saw them there. You came into play. Like, I see you as a better person, but it's on them to choose which one. And you kind of just have to
And I
hold the
said
mirror.
that. I said, make better choices.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
said that I was like, you are here to protect the feminine, not to rape the feminine. And I don't know if I said that, but in that, and like,
Yeah.
you need to make better choices. So step the fuck up, you
How
know?
did you, how do you feel? Like, how'd you feel after that night? Was it like, and this is the wrong thing to say, good. I don't, like,
Oh,
but like,
great.
did you feel like you were in your, like, this is what I'm meant to be? I need to do more of this. I need to do more work on myself to clear because I know I'm meant to be like, how are you feeling with all that?
I felt great. I felt like I slept 1 or 2 hours that morning. And I didn't feel exhausted. I didn't feel drained really. And like I needed to rest obviously after that, but no, it felt true. It felt like this is what I'm here to do. And at the party, I actually had that realization of like, oh fuck, like I'm gonna be transmuting energy on a massive scale, like
Yeah.
hundreds of
Wow.
thousands, whatever. And that freaks me the fuck out. That makes me want to vomit. Um, and at first, like when I worked on the guy, the heroin addict, and I felt his pain in my stomach, like it was so intense, I almost threw up a couple times. I didn't. Maybe it'd be helpful if I did throw up. Ugh, I don't want to throw up. But I was like, do I have to take on the world's pain like by myself? Fuck. Like fuck. That's like the Jesus Christ thing of like he transmuted the pain of the earth at that time by going through this physical
Yeah.
torture. And I was like, I
Yeah.
don't want to do that, but okay, I guess that's what I'm here to do. Fine, but fuck. And then like a few minutes after that, I realized there was another guy at the party. His name is Paulin, and
Mm-hmm.
he like this weird dancer hippie dude, and he was also doing energetic work. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, like I don't have to do this by myself.
You
And it's
don't,
like,
and what if also you get to the point where you have nights like that enough where you get to know yourself and the energy where you're going to help the people that need it and they're in a dark place and you have to feel it for you to be able to be there for them. And it's going to kind of like drain, you got to dance it out, but you're going to have equal amounts of people who are super on a hot, and they're going to fill you back up. And then
no, no,
you just need to know,
yeah.
I've got to offset. I know where my energy, and I know what I need to like center me again if I'm going to be there for a certain subset of people. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You're totally right
Yeah.
because they're
Yeah.
like the other couple that was there,
Yeah.
they were doing energy work and healing. And I spoke it to specifically the man, the husband, and he's like, yeah, I was feeling that. And he realized like he's almost there. Like he's not completely aware of what he's doing, but he's really fucking close. And then the other woman was also doing energy work, and then Pauline was doing energy, and then there were a couple people there that were also doing it. And but I just realized like, oh, I don't have to do this alone. I don't have to take on all of the pain of the entire world and
You do
process it
not.
through my own womb. I don't have to do
No,
that alone.
no.
Thank God.
Yeah. And how impactful you can be even secondarily by you processing maybe say one person's and how much it brings you, but others seeing that. So maybe you don't even need to one-on-one take on there, but like they're going to see what's possible. Like you said, the guy saw the people dancing, so they didn't have to be there, but they're going to see the possibility. So the downstream effects or the ripple effect of that can be, to you said, the hundreds of thousands, but you need to say, I can take on 5 at 2 a day, whatever it is. And then I know I need the 4 that are going to just light me up to offset it. But the ripple effect is going to be thousands, whatever it may be.
Whatever. I don't, blah.
Hundreds of thousands, whatever. The 4, who get, like it's just.
Well, let's really quick in our last couple of minutes talk about teledipity, which is.
I couldn't download it. I couldn't.
So maybe it's not time for you to have that information yet, because.
Oh my God.
I'm serious though, because it, like, when I read this, I almost threw up. And this was like right at the beginning. Like, this is before I even had been fully initiated to the series of initiations that led to my breaking in the last, however, since January 20th. So teledipity is an app. It's numerology. And another splenic projector, I was on a call with him because I knew I had to connect with him. And he's like, you should download this app. And I was like, okay. And I looked it up and I read my overview of my life's mission, which is based on your birth name, which is not Maya Lila di Vento, and your birth time and like your, whatever. Okay. And so I read this before I really fully woke up. And so it made me literally sick to my stomach. And I was like, this is probably not right. I don't know. Okay. Maya Lila is here to counsel millions in a series of inventions dealing with themes of unconditional love and forgiveness through counseling, group coaching, and teaching.
Oh.
So I didn't, I've always wanted to be a writer, and I've always wanted to like go to these conferences. Like I went to this thing called Sages and Scientists conference.
Yeah.
And that was like kind of like a highlight of my life. I love talking, obviously, and like podcasting. But, and I was always like, yeah, I'd love to be Liz Gilbert. Like I want to be famous and have these books that I've written that like, transform women's lives. But I never really, I thought I was just being like egotistical or like, big headed or whatever. Yeah. But this says that that's what I'm going to be doing. And that's what I've already
told me at the beginning. What is it? Your dreams or whatever are your destiny. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we're like, who am I to be able to even dream that? Like, why?
I don't know enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not wise enough.
And it doesn't mean, because I think we question our desire behind it. Like, not only the confidence aspect, which is like, I don't know enough. But like, sometimes if you want big, grand things, you're like, oh, it's because of the money and it's my ego wanting, but like, you have to trust it. Your heart of you is like, first of all, you're allowed to want those things. But secondly, the heart that you have, which wants to serve people. So how many people have read our books and now are inspired? Like, that's what it's meant to be. And that's behind your desire too, like.
Yeah. And I had that flip recently too, where before I was like, okay, I want to make money doing what I love. So how do I do that? How do I make money doing what I love? And I finally shifted into, no, I'm here to serve. And yes, I want money, but that's not the main thing isn't the money and then the service. The main thing is the service and then the money, which I've been hearing for fucking years. Like Deepak Chopra says that. Everybody says that. Focus on the service. Kathy Heller says that. But I didn't understand it until recently. And I was like,
it's like, what's the chicken and the egg, right? Or the carrot and the whatever. But like, if you're like, I want the money, and what should I do to get the money is the service. But like, no, you want to do the service, but guess what? You need the money to be able to give the service. So it's almost like from a heart-centered way, you're like, okay, I know I'm not asking this just so I have the money. It's so I can then serve more. I can serve more, and I can't do that until I can keep doing that, because you just can't. Yeah.
But the point, the shift point was me realizing, oh, what I have to give is valuable and worthy. I'm valuable and worthy.
Yes. Yeah. Just right now, period. No more studying, no more. And you can because the joy of learning more, you love it, but you are, as you are right now, providing immense value, and you're keeping it in. You're not allowing enough people, to be like, just like, I literally just told Michelle, who interviewed you, right? I was like, ask her about her human design and the model. They're beautiful. Like, she's like, how can I get one? So it's like, if 500 people, like, they're like, where? I didn't even know. It's like Kathy said, like, if there's no buy button, people don't even know that they can.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that so when she asked me for the offerings, and we had talked, like, I've been talking with a business coach about like small, medium, large offerings. And she was basically asking for the medium, but I sent her the small and the large. I didn't even send her the medium. And she's like, yeah, but what about the medium? Like, I want the human design, the malas. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I kind of forgot about that, but it's probably my own self, like hiding. I'm like, ah. So I sent her that last night and I need to put that out because I haven't shared that. I shared the small and I shared the large on Instagram and Facebook. And I need
Do
to
you
put
have
them
it on your website?
not
The
on, I
package
have it on
when we
human
talked.
design crystals. I've like made the packages and stuff, but I'm also being called to probably release human design crystals, have my website, but even just market, just post on Instagram and like not even have a checkout cart and all that shit. Like just post on Instagram. You want this? Okay, like here's my Venmo and here are the questions you need to answer. And that's it. Because it's just like that speed of things accelerating,
Mhm.
like putting in your credit card number, and like PayPal I'm not liking so much as Venmo, even though they're the same fucking company. But
No, but yeah.
PayPal is business based, Venmo is person to person. So Elon Musk, whatever you want to think about him or believe, like they're all agents of the light, like Elon Musk, Trump, all these horrible Putin, like whatever the fuck, Obama, Eckhart Tolle, Byron Katie. Everybody is an agent of the light, period.
Yeah.
They just are different flavors. One flavor is dark chocolate and one flavor is white vanilla. And maybe you love white vanilla and you think dark chocolate's fucking disgusting. It's still delicious ice cream for somebody. So it's just funny that Elon Musk owns PayPal and Venmo. They're the same fucking company, but PayPal is starting to abuse people by extracting money, and Venmo is not. But Venmo is meant to connect individuals, not businesses. So I see that as like a way to unravel. Okay, but let's stop talking.
So at the end of it though, okay, two things. One, yes, the thing with teledipity, I had downloaded it yesterday, but it just keeps saying it can't find user.
Yeah,
So I haven't.
because you're not ready yet. Teledipity, your technology is saying, don't worry about this right now. Like it'll when it's time. So if your technology won't let you do shit, listen to it. Don't force it. Don't keep
Oh,
trying.
I'm not, but for you, just know I heard you. I downloaded yesterday. It doesn't want me to right
Not
now.
time. Not time.
Second is, so did you send Michelle the offer? You sent? Good. And is she decided, or she's
No,
thinking of?
she's not ready because she needs to make money through her joy before she can buy my offering. It's like a
Okay.
true thing. And so she said something, she's like, okay, I need to get my boundaries in order. And I was like, what? Tell me more. Like, what does that mean? I love boundaries. And she's
Yeah.
like, oh, like I don't have the money right now to invest in this, but I need to get my offering off the ground. And so it's like that chain reaction. And
Yeah.
people have been doing this to me. I've been seeing offerings that cost $4,000, $10,000. And my soul is like, this is what you're here to do. And so I'm like, okay, I need to get the money, but it's not even about the program or the money. It's just those signposts of like, this is what you're here to do. And I had an exchange with somebody because I really wanted to work with him. He does divine union stuff and abundance. And I was like, this is what I need. And he's like, okay, you got to pay me. And I was like, he's like, you got to pay to get the consciousness shift. I'm like, but I'm not like everybody else. I'm already awake. And I know I have medical still. I'm not fully like enlightened, but I'm different. And he's like, it doesn't matter. It's a universal principle. And I was like, fuck you. Fine. And it's just that burning of the bridges. Like we need to be pruned and whatever in certain ways for us to like bloom fully.
And I feel like maybe you were meant to put the packages together. So now the next person, you already have it. You've already thought of it. Like
And
this
then
is
people,
what it is.
whoever's ready
And
will
you
be.
can put it out on Instagram, like you said too, and you have it all. So now it's like posting it, like she was the push to like get the package. What is it? Now you like are gonna send it to whoever.
Yeah.
Maya.
Yeah,
So
listen
good.
to so good. I know it's so good. So Brooke, do you want to turn this into a podcast?
Sure.
And then do you have the script? Can you turn this into text?
Mhm.
Okay, that would be amazing. I would love the text from this so I can
Okay.
start to pull stuff out and put it
Yeah.
on it.
Yes.
Thank
And
you.
the video you have send me because this is your Zoom.
Oh yeah, I'll send you everything.
Yeah, but then
And I'll probably upload on YouTube. I'll try.
okay. I was gonna say we have the videos too. Stop.
As a message. What does she want to say?
She wants someone to come outside with her.
Okay, well, it's time to go outside. She wants her mom to
go
play.
outside and play.
Yeah.
It is time to play.
And you need to go outside and play.
I
Because
know,
it's
right?
a lot. Like this, we should all just fucking go outside right now and go play and put our feet in the earth.
Look at this. I'm happy. Yay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I
Thank you.
appreciate you. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay, love you, bye.